I'd like to show you the technique for putting on a posterior splint for an ankle or foot injury, even a lower tibial or fibular fracture. The ingredients you can see is the casting tape already pre-made into a splint, stockinette, and 5 or 6 inch web roll. The first thing that we'll do is to determine how much web roll we need. I go ahead and measure this on the leg from the tip of the toe all the way up to the bottom of the popliteal area. And just go back and forth with the web roll about 7 or 8 times to provide a nice thick padding in that area. I take the moistened prefabricated splint material, and in this case just a little bit too long. We can cut that back or fold it back. Probably better to cut it off, just because if you cut it, then you may leave a big fold in the area, the popliteal area. I like to put the stockinette on first. It really gives you a much better looking splint and tidies up the ends better. And again, what we're trying to do is get it too long so we can fold back on itself. If there's a fracture, we don't worry too much. If the distal ankle is unstable, we try not to worry too much about whether it's in plantar flexion or dorsiflexion. You can just kind of splint it where it lies. Now this prefabricated material does have a rubberized or felt type padding, but it really isn't enough, particularly on the junction, because you leave these sharp edges of the fiberglass, and once it hardens, it almost feel like little needles that can poke into the patient. So I try to make sure that you can really see that real well on this end, this fiberglass cut areas. So if we have to fold that back on itself, provide good cushioning. Go ahead and lift your leg up for me, please. Come back down for me. And I try to bring this out just about there to cover the metatarsal heads. Now what I'm going to do is take an ace wrap. Typically you'll be doing this in your office with some assistance, someone who can hold the leg for you. And we're just going to wrap this on. Lift that up a little bit, please. Thank you. This is a 6-inch ace wrap, and then we'll dovetail that in with a 4-inch ace wrap in order to make it look a little bit better distally. Don't use any clips for kids because they tend to eat them. And again, I fold this back, making sure I'm distal to the metatarsals. If it's a foot fracture, I try to get it distal all the way to the toes. This can be folded back over the ace wrap. Again, it provides a nice cushion proximally and distally, and then you can tape this in place with some adhesive tape in order to make the split look a little bit better and functional. We get well padded to hold this ankle still, transport to orthopedics office or to the hospital or wherever you need to go.